Hello, this is Edith Neumeyer. How are you doing today? I want to continue actually my topic of a storm is coming. I kind of started thinking about, okay, what could that storm be? And of course, that storm is going to contain many things, or is caused by many things. Of course, it could be the reset, the great reset that we always talking about, and with Klaus Schwab and the Economic Forum. That could be one piece of it, where Klaus Schwab says the transformation is not a transformation that's a technical or economic, but a transformation of humankind. I just saw a video, him talking about that. And you can actually find it. There's a video out by the World Economic Forum. What is the Great Reset? And I think Klaus Schwab goes into detail, or this video goes into detail, what the Great Reset is. The Great Reset is not just a change in economics, but a change with humankind. So they are actually planning to change humankind as we know it. And I think they're really talking about a DNA change. So how are they going to bring about a DNA change? I'm not going to talk about it today, because it seems that I'm going to get in trouble for it. But I think everybody has to go do their own research, how that may be accomplished. I don't think people are just going along and saying, oh sure, change my DNA, maybe make me more, well, maybe if they say, well, you're going to be a more superhuman, you will not get sick, you will live longer, maybe then people will go along, which they already do, I guess. If we tell them, oh, your children will be healthier, so then, hey, sure, give them this one. Yeah. And by giving them this one, what will it change in their body? That's what I want you all to research. I don't need to do that research. The research is out there. But that is not really the storm. It's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of the goal. The goal is world dominion. And world dominion means everybody needs to bow down to who? The beast system. The beast out of the earth, the beast out of the sea, and the beast out of the earth, which is the false prophet. That is the goal. And who is controlling the beast? The dragon. Who is sitting on the beast? Babylon the Great. It's all one system, of course. And we see that today. And who is that today? The beast and Babylon the Great. I have talked about it so many times, and I know a lot of people are actually still not believing it. But it can't be any other way. You cannot guess. You have to use historical facts. That's all you have to do. The Bible not necessarily comes out and says this and this and this and this. The Bible tells you clearly that this last beast will last to the end. The last beast, Rome, will last to the end. There is no gap. People put a gap in between things so much because they think, oh, are we going to be put on hold? You think Satan is going to take a vacation? Satan has been transforming the kingdoms here on earth into his own kingdom. And I have said that. Revelation 12 and 13. You know, I mean, how many times do you want me to tell you? Okay? Now, it doesn't matter what I tell you. It's what does the historical account say? There's only one empire that lasts from the beginning, from Rome's time to the end, and that is the Holy Roman Empire. Those are the 10 horns. Some people think that these 10 horns are real 10 kingdoms, but they could also be symbolic, standing symbolically for all the European kingdoms. And then the little one in the middle, of course, is the little horn, which is Babylon the Great, which is also a kingdom. But it has a different role. It's a religious system. It's a religious system. Everybody's waiting for this world religion. It's already here. The Roman Catholic Church has been world religion for 2,000 years. Come on, please, wake up. Wake up. Yeah, okay. You know, there's other religions too, but they're not world religion. And even though they may be other religion, they all come to the Pope to bow down. They all do. They all acknowledge the Pope as some, who knows what, religious leader, important religious leader. It's all here. And because it's all here, Satan continues his plan with this beast system. What is the beast system doing today? That's what we need to be looking at. What is the beast system doing today? And I'm talking about the beast out of the sea, which is Europe. That is the Holy Roman Empire. Remember, one of the heads of that Holy Roman Empire was wounded. Remember that. And people always think, oh, that was one of the popes, which I thought at one time too. But the head of the beast is actually the political system. So, when was the political system, the Holy Roman Empire, when was it really very much wounded? And did it come back to life? Today? Yes. Remember, the Holy Roman Empire was wounded in First and Second World War very, very much. They hardly, I mean, they couldn't, I mean, they would have been destroyed, okay, if they would have not brought in the United States, which is the beast out of the earth. And with the beast out of the earth, they came back to life again. And today, with both of them together, okay, both of them together, this huge beast, because they're working together. And what is the military power of this beast? Iron. Remember, but it's mixed with clay, so it's not doing very well. Those 10 toes, they're here today. These 10 toes are here today. Iron mixed with clay. Military power mixed with what? Religious. The Vatican. Now the Vatican is at the end, at the shadow, and yet the Vatican, with the help of the Jesuits, have been infiltrating this political system since the beginning. Since the beginning. And that's what makes it brutal. That's what makes it brutal. But right now, it came back to life. The beast came back to life. The head wound came back to life. We see that in Europe. What did one of the generals, the generals from England, UK generals, say? They declared war, really, against Russia. He didn't come out and say, we're declaring war. He's saying, we have to be prepared. We have to get ready for the war. That's what he was saying. You can find that speech too. Just recently, 1 week ago, and I had it in English. I listened to it in English. Many brought it up here in my English videos, this speech. They addressed it. Many addressed it. How can this UK general commit to a war or say to everybody, hey, we need to, even the civilians, calling to the civilians to get ready for war and to prepare for war. Okay, that's what they did during the Second World War. That's what England did. And they're doing it again. So what does that mean? This beast, Europe, you will see that eventually all the other countries will align themselves with the UK. They already did. Germany already, since I don't know how many troops, even though Germany really never got any freedom. They're going to be using Germany again as a bait or whatever. They don't care. After the Second World War, they already wanted to destroy Germany. Nobody cares. They wanted to destroy Germany from the beginning. First World War, Second World War, they wanted to destroy Germany. And they decided, oh, maybe they're good workers. So they let them continue to live. Nobody in Europe cares if Germany is going to go down during that time or not. So right now, again, who is starting to declare, oh, we need to get ready for war? And the other countries, they're already aligning themselves with the NATO, like Finland and Sweden. Okay? So now we have this big, huge complex again. This Europe, this beast Europe, with its 10 kingdoms, which I think are only symbolic for the kingdoms of Europe, that again are united right now in war against Russia. Why? Because the goal of the beast, and who sits on it, the little horn, and who gives them the power, the dragon, wants world dominion. See, this dragon, Satan, also got in the United States into this beast system. They used the United States to give, again, power to this beast that would have died, or would have been, I don't know, would it be back by now? I don't know. But it gave power, they gave power to each other. And all for world dominion. And what do? Oh, it's Russia's fault. It's China's fault. But who wants world dominion? Who is empire today? Compare the military power of the NATO and of Russia. Then they know they're going to win. They know they're going to win. Now, how do you think Russia's going to react? You think they want to be humiliated? I just saw something about, let's see, who was it? Oh, what would happen if Putin would be dead? You think Russia would continue to defend their country? You think Russia would back out and let Ukraine take over everything, like the Donbass and the Crimea? I don't think so. There's too many people in this circle of Putin that think the same way. And Putin may be only used anyways by people in the background. We don't know. Now, one thing I know that Putin is used definitely by the dragon as well. Why? Because the dragon wants world power, and so he's preparing things to have world dominion. He's just using circumstances and has planned these circumstances for hundreds of years to bring about what he wants, and he's using his agencies, like, for instance, the Vatican. Because it's in the Vatican's interest. The Pope wants to be the one, the only one in this world between, a mediator between God and people. That means you are the highest agency in this world. Most people don't know that. But that's what the Pope has always wanted, and that's why we have the Jesuits who do support exactly that claim of the Pope. And that's what they want. People always say, oh, world religion, one world. Yeah, we have already one world religion, people. And the Jesuit makes sure that the Pope will be the one in charge of everything. Come on, please. This has been there since the Roman Catholic Church was founded. It's nothing new. But what we are having today, people, is the kind of the final stage of takeover. The final stage of takeover of this beast system. That's what we're having today. And it's not necessarily Russia who's the bad guy, even though he is being used just the same by Satan. But it is Satan and his minions who are the bad guys, who are trying to have world dominion. And we need to understand that. We need to understand that we're dealing with the beast. We're not dealing with one ruler at the end. There's not going to be like this Antichrist. There is not one ruler. It's the beast. And the beast right now is part of this, or let's say NATO is the biggest part of this beast because it's the military power. And a beast could not exist without a military power. And this military power, NATO, is going to run and devour the whole earth. That is exactly what Revelation says. Let's go there. Okay, let's go to Revelation. And I'm going to go to Revelation 13. Okay, let's go to Revelation 13. Yeah, and my stupid thing is just like... So let's go to 13. Because it tells you that. Here it says, and I saw, and that's verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death. I believe heads stand for epochs, okay, different times. Later on, we'll also see can stand for the heads could be like the hills on which the little horn is sitting. So it's always used as symbolic. But here's one of the heads. It was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? Do we have that today? Yes, we do. Who is able to wage war with NATO? Even Putin has no chance. But I'll tell you right now, or Russia, he has no chance. He will come to an end through this. We don't see that in the Bible, people, that he's coming to an end. But it says here, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. This beast is what? Worshipping the dragon. The dragon gave him the power. Make no mistake. This European system, also, of course, this combination of Empire USA and European system, which we call NATO, and it includes many other countries. That is the military power of the beast. Who can wage war against that beast? Again, find the information that you need to compare the military power of the NATO and of Russia. Has no chance. Russia has no chance. No chance. And then people think, well, why in the world are they waging war? Well, because they're defending their country. That's why. Why? Because all the missiles are now located at their entrance, at the border. And what do you think will happen next? If people put missiles on your border, that is a sign of what? Aggression. It's not a sign of peace. When you move all military power to that border, which has happened for the past, I don't know how many years, which the United States has done, NATO has done. Okay? Is that a sign of aggression or of peace? And NATO's getting bigger and bigger. All these countries around it, they all want to be part of NATO. Why? Because they think nobody can wage war against the NATO. And here we have Russia. And I'm not saying that they're not corrupt and evil or whatever. I'm not saying that. But please compare the power of an elephant and a mouse. Okay? Compare the elephant with the mouse. Because that's what we're having. We have an elephant and a mouse. And the elephant is getting ready to run over the mouse's territory. And how is the mouse going to react? Well, some mice would just run away. And then you have some feisty mice that will not stand. They will not take it. So, okay, kill Putin and see what's going to happen. Do you think the mice are going to scatter and let the NATO take over? Oh, it's for peace. It's for peace. It's for peace and safety. There's no peace and safety when you have somebody taking over the whole world and there is no more democracy. Oh, it's for democracy. No. Whoever is taking over is not democratic. Or whatever you think has to do with freedom. That's not freedom. Whoever's taking over is a dictator. Sorry. And the United States has been doing this for years, taking over the world. You should just look at South America or Central America, how many countries the United States has toppled. The NATO, whoever you want to call it, has toppled, has taken over since the Second World War. Then go in the Middle East. How many times has Iran been toppled and changed because Empire USA has intervened? No. For me, that is not democracy. For me, that is dictatorship. What's happening today is, again, dictatorship, which has been planned for years. Since the time the wall came down. Remember, I'm from Germany. And I was in Germany during that time when the wall came down in the 80s. Okay? I remember that time very well. And at that time, the world politicians agreed not to move their power. NATO agreed not to move their power eastward, to allow this corridor of neutrality. And of course, that didn't last very long. They knew exactly how to get these other countries to join the NATO or Europe. They knew how to get these countries to join Europe. And then Europe, of course, is joining a military NATO. That's how simple it is. Because they all think they're going to get a benefit from it. Again, what does it say here? Who is like the beast, who is able to make war with him? Yes. Who is able to make war with him? That's what we are today. And I know people are still, oh my goodness, that poor Putin guy. Not poor, but if he would be gone, everything would be normal. No, then the United States or the NATO would take over continuously. That's what their goal is. And Russia just wants to protect their nationality. That's all they want to do. Well, I'm sure they feel like they were taken advantage of. I think so too. So what is the future holding? What's going to happen? I can see what's in the Bible, and I have said that before. I don't see Gog and Magog coming down and attacking Israel. I don't see that in the Bible. I only see that the kings of the east come and attack the Holy Land. Not Gog and Magog from the north. That is all a lie. That is all a lie of this man of sin. It's a lie of Satan. It's a lie of Babylon the Great. That's who it is a lie from. There is no Gog and Magog war before the 1,000 years. We can see that, and I'm going to say it again because I'm also doing a series on Revelation. We see that in Revelation 20. The Gog and Magog war is after the 1,000-year reign. And you can compare that with the Old Testament. I have done that, people, and you can go to that study if you're really interested. But stop believing lies. Stop believing lies. The Gog and Magog war is after the millennium. Why? Because the people are sitting in security and safety. They have no walls, no locks, no nothing. Why? There was no war for 1,000 years, and they thought they were safe. And that's when Gog and Magog comes and wants to surprise the city, the New Jerusalem, not the city right now, because the city right now is not sitting in safety. Revelation 20. That is the scenario at the end. But what is going to happen right now? Well, at the end of the wrath of God, there's a battle called Armageddon battle. And that is the battle that we're preparing for right now. That's what Satan is preparing right now. This Armageddon battle, which culminates from the Third World War. Yes, Third World War will start. Because every battle, of course, comes out of a war. And, of course, when every country meets at one point, it's a world war. That's exactly what happens. You can read that in Revelation 16:16. It talks about the Armageddon Armageddon war, where all countries will be represented. Now, why is it not talking about a king of the north? Because that king of the north, which is Russia, will be destroyed before that battle even happens. During the Third World War, in the beginning, Russia will be destroyed. Now, that is not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. But many seers prophesy it. Seers, okay? We don't know where they get their information. They could get their information from demons, fallen angels, okay, who have an insight in what happens in the future. They cannot always pinpoint it correctly, what year, but they can see it about. Like I said, Satan can see right now that the wrath of God is coming. And that's why he prepares. He's prepared for it. And he knows the rapture is coming. And he's prepared for it. Every year it could happen. And he is prepared. And he knows that the Third World War is coming. Even, people who don't know it. Well, again, people who have information from the future, which there's a lot of people that do, because they can go and get that information from the other side, from the fallen angels and demons. Not necessarily demons, because demons are really limited too. It really has to come from the angels, because the angels are the only ones who can really go past the dimensions. They can go into the next dimension, okay? Now, they were kicked out of heaven. That's what God is. But it doesn't mean they're not maybe in the next dimension. I don't know how all that works out. How many dimensions are there? They're kicked out of heaven. Is heaven maybe even further than the next dimension? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. But they're smart enough to figure things out. And they have some kind of idea, much better idea than we dummies. Okay, I have to say that word, I'm sorry. Because people are ignorant. So many people are so ignorant about the times and the seasons and the signs. Jesus said, he used the fig tree and said, the fig tree will show you exactly what season it is, when this and this happens, when summer's coming and all that. But people are dumb enough to see the signs of the time. We don't see the signs of the time. We know from I don't know, is it Pike or Hall, Mason guy, this big Mason guy, who says we're going to have 3 world wars. And really, we don't even need to know his idea. We had 2 world wars. We're definitely going to go into another world war. But that world war will be the end, people. That will be the end of humankind as we know it. Not because we destroy each other. And remember what Einstein said. He believes the Third World War will be fought with, nuclear weapons, but the Fourth World War will be waged with sticks and stones. So yeah, and how far are we really destroying each other in that Third World War? We'll come out of it, a remnant of us will survive it. But it also will be the end of humankind, as we know it. And afterwards, if we're Christians, we believe that Jesus will take over this world. He will not allow humankind to destroy itself. Never God allowed that. Never did God allow something like that. When we come to our own destructions, God will intervene. He'll always intervene. As we saw it during the time of Noah. He intervened, didn't he? So he will intervene when we're doing the same kind of nonsense. He will intervene. If we're doing a Third World War and we think we're going to destroy this world to the point, where it is not sustainable anymore, God will stop that. That's maybe what Satan wants. Satan's not going to win. But let's go back. What is, for me, what I see is going to happen in Europe with this Third World War. I know that this German seer Elmaya had a vision of what's going to happen. And I also understand that Elmaya had this vision from another dimension. It didn't come from him. He got this information from someplace else. Fallen angels, he was not a born-again believer. Fallen angels, it's very possible, because I just heard something where a woman who was about 12 years old and met Elmaya regularly, he visited regularly his family, was saying that his eyes changed when he had these visions, and his hands kind of became bluish, which, okay, maybe he just was possessed, don't know, taken over by spiritual leader, I don't know, which is called what, fallen angel, don't know. But he is not the only one who's giving us this information. So even if this information is coming from the fallen angels, something that we can plan and use. Maybe pray about it, if that is the truth or if it's not the truth. But what he says, and others, is that Germany, Russia, they will get into a war. Russia will take over. Russia will come all the way to the Rhine River. Yes, all the way. And you're thinking, now how in the world does NATO allow that? I know I just said NATO is the superpower. Are they doing it on purpose? Why? Because after they came all the way to the Rhine River, they're throwing little packages on the whole strip between the Alps and the north and the East Sea. If you can picture this, if you know about European geology, Alps all the way up to the East Sea. That goes through all of Germany. They will destroy that whole region. They will throw bioweapons through drones on that region and destroy everything within that region. And the troops then cut off from their homeland. They will be destroyed. He says nobody will make it home again. Nobody will make it home again. And that will be the end of Russia. Now, Russia will do other things. I think they will throw a missile into the channel between England and Europe, or France. And I think England will be greatly destroyed through that too. But so is going to be Germany. Germany is going to be destroyed all the way to the Rhine River. And then after that, there's going to be all these other plagues that are coming in, like the 3 days of darkness, which he also said, prophesied, which we see in the bowls of wrath, of God's wrath. And then, of course, the 6th bowl is going to be this battle, Armageddon battle. Why? What happens? Well, because if Russia is being defeated by NATO, what do you think China's going to do? You think they're just going to say, oh, sure, we're going to take it? we're so afraid. Look what they did. No. China and all the people with them will now attack the West, NATO, and the battle will culminate right there in the Holy Land, just like the Bible says. See, here again we have biblical prophecy. We know that the beast NATO and the kings of the East will meet there, but both will be destroyed because God has determined it. Jesus has determined it. But that's why we don't see Russia. We don't see Russia there. Because Russia was defeated before by NATO. And people will be very happy. Oh my goodness, Russia's destroyed. But in the middle of this, Europe or Germany, specifically Germany, will be destroyed. Specifically Germany. That's how things are going to happen. Yes, I'm assuming that. I don't take, this is not biblical prophecy, the part in between where Russia is being destroyed. But there can be an explanation why Russia is never mentioned. Russia is not mentioned during that battle. He didn't say, oh, the kings of the north come and the kings or northeast or whatever. It's the kings of the east. That's why, because Russia will be already destroyed. They will be gone, people. And then we're always screaming, oh, Russia is the bad guy. Russia is the bad guy. No, the Russia hasn't been the bad guy. Okay? They just have a different form of, political system. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's a worldly system. What are we judging a worldly system that comes from the dragon anyways? You think your system is better, even though it's also from the dragon? We know that. This system here is from the dragon. The dragon has taken over the United States. Whether you like it or not. Oh, but we're a Christian country. No, people, we didn't stick a Christian country. We have mixed ourselves again with Babylon the Great. Look at all these Christian leaders, so-called Christian leaders. Where are they going? Who are they bowing down to? Really look at. But I'm coming to an end. This is a video I really needed to really make because it's so relevant today. Watch and see what's going to be happening. I really believe that the Third World War is starting soon. It's just a matter of time. I don't think it's just bluff or, threat to Putin. Oh, look, we're getting ready for war. What this general is doing, this UK general. You know, all of Europe is going to stand behind this UK general. Germany already did. Finland. Sweden. And look at all the other ones. They're going to be behind it. See, it's going to be, again, united European country, Holy Roman Empire. Europe being united. That is exactly what the beast has been, or the dragon has been working on. Iron mixed with clay didn't work very well, did it? So what did the clay do? It kind of went in the background. Still working from the background. Make no mistake. Didn't go away. It's just in the background. So maybe the iron will stick together better. So they can take over and crush the world. Coming to an end. But the worst part is, of course, that the United States empire is part of this whole thing. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it right now, people. Of course, if UK is doing that, the United States is already telling them to do it. It's very simple. UK is only a small part of this NATO. The biggest part is the United States. All right. Hey, think about that. I know it's nothing new it's not something that I haven't said before, but it needs to be said again because I'm seeing it coming. I'm seeing it prepared right now. They're going to destroy Russia. I think they're going to let him come all the way to the Rhine River just so they can just totally destroy him. And they don't care, of course, about Germany. Just another time. Oh yeah, let's just destroy Germany. Let's use Germany right now. Okay. Just let's use Germany a little longer. And then swoosh. Coming to an end. Let the Holy Spirit guide you.